Hello guys and welcome back to my channel. It is good to have you guys back. And for those of you that are coming in brand new, welcome and thank you for joining. Today we have another episode on Illustrator text effects. The text effect that we're going to be covering today is going to be the cutout effect. And basically it's going to look like a piece of paper and that you're literally trying to cut it out. Well, at least that's what I'm going to try and make sure that it works out. So let's go ahead and get right into it. All right, so once you get in here, you're gonna go ahead and hit create, obviously, and use a 1920 by 1080. So width 1920 pixels by height 1080 pixels. And this we're gonna call it Illustrator and cutout effect. Okay. All right, and please make sure that the raster effect is as 72 ppi, so that way the text effects that we're gonna do is appropriate to the size. If not, you're gonna have a lot of trouble finding some of the stuff. So let's just go ahead and hit create. First thing that we're gonna do is go to layers and make sure that we have the appropriate amount of layers. So we need 5 of them. The first one, we're gonna call it background. The second one, we are gonna call it bottom. The third one, paper. And this one, we're gonna call it top. And actually, we only needed 4. So we'll go ahead and delete this one. Okay, go to the background and create a shape, a square, the size of the board. So it's a 1920 by 1080. And hit OK. Now we're gonna go to paper and pretty much do the same thing. And I'm just gonna hold Alt and throw this layer into paper. So now we have it here in paper too. So now that you have this rectangle, we're gonna make sure hit paper, so that way you're doing your adjustments there. We're gonna hit T for text, and we're gonna type our word. So this one is gonna be cutout. Escape to deselect and grow it just by holding shift and the corner. Switch the font, Antonelli calligraphy. Object, expand, okay. Unite the entire text by hitting just unite. All right, we're gonna grow it more as we want it a little bit bigger, and we're gonna center it. Okay, so going back to layers, we're gonna go ahead and create this as a compound path by hitting Control 8. Now is a compound path, and we are going to hold Alt and put a copy on the top. We're just building duplicates. Now you want to have over here 5 of them. So let's go ahead and put 5 of them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And we're going to give it appropriate names. This one, I'm going to call it white, sharp, shine. This one, just white. This one, white border. This one, black border. On the bottom, we are gonna do 3 of them for now, and we are gonna call it inner deep shadow. And this won't make sense right now, but you will get it later on. Inner deep shadow, inner shine, and this one inner just shadow. All right. So the ones that are white need to be white. The ones that are black need to be black. This one's white. Select it, hold shift. This one's white. This one's white. And this one is, the shines are white. So we can just switch them all to white. The rectangle that we built. So this one, I'm going to put it just about that color right there is fine. Maybe a little bit darker. Okay, grab the compound path that we have over here, select them both, and we are gonna hit minus front. Control 8, and that'll put it as a compound path. So basically what we just did is, if I show you guys, we cut it out of the middle. That's all we did. All right, so now that we cut that, duplicate this one, and we're gonna mess with the second one. We're gonna hit on our arrows, we're gonna hit 1 left and 1 down. Grab both of them, and we're gonna say minus back. So as you can see, it created a white border. White, sharp, shine, hit Control 8 to make it a compound path. For these 4 that are coming up, we need to have a duplicate of a compound path. Notice what I just did right now. This compound path, make sure that you don't have any borders. So you can just click the border here, or you can even click it right here and make sure you take off the border. Hold Alt and move it right on top of white, and then in between each one of the other layers or compound paths. This white one, we are going to give it a position of 1 click up, 1 click right. Effect, Gaussian blur, 15 pixels. The opacity, transparency over here, we are gonna put it at 40. Grab it with the compound path, make a mask. Go to the next one, white border. Effect, style, drop shadow, put it at 69%. We are gonna put a 4 and a -4. This is gonna be 3. And we're gonna make sure that this is white. And very important, the mode, it needs to be into normal, or else you won't be able to see the effect on the artboard. You can only see it outside of the artboard. Believe me, I made that mistake. Hit OK, and we're gonna make the opacity at 50. And we grab it with the compound path we placed on top of it, make mask. The black, we are gonna give it a position, and we're gonna be holding shift, and you're gonna hit down and left. Gaussian blur, so effect, blur, Gaussian blur of 12. The opacity at 40. And we are gonna go ahead and unite it with the compound path that we have on top. Very important, it needs to be on top. Make mask. All right. Okay, so now we move on to the black border. Effect, stylize, we're gonna give it drop shadow. Again, normal, we can leave it at 69. We're just switching these negative signs right here. So negative goes on the top. And we want to make sure that this is black. Mode normal and hit OK and unite it with the top one. So we do the same thing. Compound, make mask. All right, perfect. So now we are done with that top one. For the bottom ones, we're gonna go to inner deep shadow, duplicated. The one that we are going to mess around with, top one. You're gonna select it, hit the arrow key 4 times down and 4 times left. The color, you got to make sure that that is black, as we already have it since we selected it from the beginning. Select them both, cut from the front. So now we got to give it the properties of Gaussian blur. And this one, we're going to put it at 6. Set the opacity to 80. Control 8 for compound path. And let's go ahead and call this group how we had it before, inner deep shadows. For this, same thing. Duplicate it. We are going to mess with the top one. So for the top one, we are going to go ahead and shift up and 1 right. Minus front. Effect. Gaussian blur. And we're going to set it at 10. And the opacity 80. And let's rename it inner shine. All right, and so for this one, we are gonna go ahead and mess with the top one. And what we're gonna do is we're gonna do shift down and left. Grab them both and minus front. So now you are left out with that border. Now we're gonna do effect, blur, Gaussian blur, and this one is gonna be 12, so we can leave it like that. And we are going to put it at 60 opacity and leave it right there. And we have arrived to the final result, and as you guys can see, it looks like if it was cut out, well, At least I think that it looks like it's a cutout. I hope that you guys have enjoyed this videos, as I am trying to make sure that I catch different type of effects and put them onto Illustrator. Illustrator can sometimes be a little bit complicated, but it's the complexity that allows you to be able to manipulate everything however you would like. So I hope that you guys have enjoyed this video. Please, on the comments below, let me know what kind of other effect or anything that additional that you would like to learn in Illustrator, so that way I can work it out and make sure that I add some more material towards that. Let me know if you like these text effects and I can continue placing more. But overall, thank you so much for watching. Make sure that you subscribe and like the video if you liked it, and I hope to see you guys on the next video. Thank you for watching.